Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett, and this was the Tales and Teacups book club picks for the months of September and October. So a few of you have already been participating in that, which I'm very happy about. There's been a lot of good discussion on this book, so if you're still interested, there's still time if you want to participate. I'll have everything linked down below for the Goodreads book club and all of that stuff. So just a general synopsis of this book is that it follows two twin sisters who grow up in this small town, and this town is very much kind of has like a hierarchy amongst the people that live there, and essentially people who are colored, who are a little bit lighter, are kind of treated better than those who are darker. So these twins, when they're kind of on the later ends of their teenage years, decide to run away to New Orleans to start a new life. So as they are kind of living their new life together in New Orleans, the one sister decides that she is going to run away and she's never seen again with the other twin. So this book kind of tells the story of the twins over the course of 30 years. So we start when they first leave home to, 30 years down the line, but it also talks about the story of their daughters as well. And this book has been getting a ton of love here on YouTube, Goodreads, all that stuff, and I think it is very well deserved. There's a lot of important themes in here that I think, especially now, are very relevant and need to be discussed. So what I really enjoyed about this book was that because we follow the sisters and their daughters over the course of 30 years, we get to cover the civil rights movement, and then we also, and it kind of highlights how, progress has been made, but at the same time, not a lot progress has been made overall. So I think it kind of highlights how the racial issues and tensions that were going on in the 1960s are still relevant in the 1990s, are still relevant in the 2020s. So I think it's very important to kind of highlight that and show that kind of history just keeps repeating itself with these racial issues and the kind of the hierarchy of that. I think is very interesting. And I also like this book's discussion on race, because the one sister who runs away can pass as white, and so it really shows how much of our identity and how we view ourselves is based around a social construct that is race. And it shows how much our lives are focused and how we define ourselves through something that doesn't necessarily, that it doesn't exist outside of humans and just cultural standards and norms. So I think that was very interesting, and it's something that really needs to be talked about, and just seeing how being judged a certain way, even though they look exactly the same, like one sister was viewed as kind of like a lighter black person, and the other person was just someone who is white, and how people viewed them, how they viewed themselves, and just how that kind of led them down different paths. And I think that is very interesting and something that needs to be talked about more. And it also, for me, when I was reading this, it just made me realize, just like I said, how much of our identity is based on the color of our skin, and how not only the physical and emotional barriers that it places around you, I think are very interesting. So overall, this book was really interesting. It covers a lot of important topics, and because it covers the span of 30 years of the twins and then their children, I think it kind of brings this story full circle. My only complaint was that I wasn't attached to the characters. I always felt like the characters were at a arm's length away from me. I could feel for them, but I didn't totally, I could empathize with their situation and what they were going through, but I just wasn't emotionally attached to the characters. I didn't feel a connection with them. They felt very cold, one-dimensional characters around this very interesting and complex and highly significant plot. That was my one complaint, so that's why I didn't give this 5 out of 5 stars. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And the writing style in here is very unique as well. It is told, like I said, it covers their story over 3 decades, but most of the story isn't told through plot progression. The progression of the plot is basically through memories and things that have happened in the past that are kind of relating to what they're going on through now. So that was very interesting. It was more kind of like whimsical and just kind of looking back on things with a different lens, I think is very interesting. Like, you know, when we think of like the future, everything is golden, and you can like see that how everything's like brighter when the twins run away and start their lives. But now even their daughters too, as they kind of move further along in their life, they're looking back on, you know, their life in a different way and kind of perceiving things differently, which I think is very interesting. But like I said, overall, I really enjoyed this book. I think it's very important, and in general, most of you who've read this with me have enjoyed it as well. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this spoiler-free review. Let me know in the comments below if you read this book and what you thought about it and all that fun stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.